I think it's Italy is really at a turning point. I think you go one way or the other way. And the progressive way, the conservative way. I'm leaning towards the progressive, so I decided that it was enough to stay out and look and comment on what others were doing. It was important to run now.
In terms of what's going to happen, you are running for the Democratic Party. At the moment, the Democratic Party looks like it will be part of the opposition rather than part of the government as well. Why do you think that is? What has the Democratic Party not done right in the build-up to this election?
I don't think there is much that the Democratic Party has done wrong. It's a bit of a tendency in Italy to switch from one side to another, like in any other country. Now, it's true that over the last few years, the Democratic Party, not always, but most of the time was in government, and now people feel that it's time perhaps to try something else. But the race is not over, so I mean, there are still 3 weeks, so things can change.
But turning their back on progressive, on the PD, on Draghi perhaps as well, because it represented the same pretty much stance. Why is Italy doing that? Why is Italy then, if it does elect a right-wing coalition, why is it turning its back on progressive stroke Draghi policies?
That's a puzzle. I mean, indeed, it's amazing how Draghi is still very popular, and yet the other very popular person is Meloni, who has been voting against Draghi. In a way, is again a desire for change, which is what was behind the victory of the five-star movement 5 years ago. So it's a bit of the same. Now, if you look at the personality of Draghi, he's very popular as a person. His policies are also popular, but you know there is a need for change. The feeling that there is a need for change.
But do Italians know it's potentially uncosted change? It's also changed that, if some of the rhetoric is right, could actually bring a collision course with the EU and the finances being dispersed by the EU.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried. That's one of the reasons why I'm running, because I'm afraid that, you see, Meloni's party, Brothers of Italy, was the only one who voted against this beautiful Piano Nazionale, the recovery plan. And they never actually explain why. The plan is good, it was working, and now they want to change it. In their program, in the center-right program, it is written that they want to renegotiate the plan. And I'm worried this may indeed lead to a collision with the European institutions.
Is there something unique about Italian politics that leads to these big personalities who are putting themselves above perhaps national unity? And I'm talking about Salvini, Berlusconi, Meloni, possibly also Conte as well, who helped bring down the Draghi government as well. Why have we got so many big personalities who actually are trying to push themselves forward, potentially at the expense of Italy?
I don't know. I think one needs to understand one thing to explain what is happening from a political perspective. Leaving aside the very big improvement that we had under Draghi, the last 20 years have been pretty bad for Italy altogether. Italy is one of the countries where per capita income did not increase between 1999 and 2019. So there is a sort of feeling that we need to look for a charismatic leader who can change everything. And therefore it becomes natural for the charismatic leader to say that everything that happened before is wrong. And so that perhaps explains why people are looking for a charismatic leader, and at the same time the charismatic leader needs to present himself, or in this case herself, as something that will be able to bring about a revolution from an economic and social perspective. The issue of immigration is a very serious one. People feel in a way threatened by immigration, and the center-right is playing a lot on this issue.